Hi, this is Tatiana Kolovu. This is Stronger, a LinkedIn newsletter, and this is the July edition. The language of resilience. Midsummer downpours are a standard weather pattern where I live in the midwestern U.S. For my friend Marc, owner of an established restaurant in the heart of our college town, a recent June downpour proved intense. 6 feet of water in their basement sent business files, stored inventory, and computer servers floating into the street. Watching my friend deal with this immense stressor reminded me that much of how we process and react to a crisis has to do with communication. How we talk about the situation and how we talk to ourselves and others around us. At some point in our lives, each of us is faced with adversity. Whether it's personal or professional, such setbacks are part of growth and an inevitable part of life. We need to consider our ability to build resilience and bounce back from adversity as a journey, not a destination. All of us have the ability to develop skills for building resilience and raising our capacity to bounce back in times of crisis. Now, authors of the book, The Resilience Factor, 7 Essential Skills for Overcoming Life's Inevitable Obstacles, share practical drills and methods for overcoming obstacles, bolstering optimism, and navigating a crisis. As a communications professor, I'm attuned to the communication strategies people use in the trenches, and I try to use the most effective ones for myself. Let's unpack this language of resilience and see if any of these ideas are helpful when you next face an individual stressful event or adversity that painfully lingers on. Number 1, talking about the situation. When we're in the midst of a crisis, it's easy to get carried away and use negative language, words such as catastrophe, disaster, or devastation. Don't get me wrong, a sudden crisis always generates choice words and responses from me. It's quite cathartic, to be honest, to vent in the short term. But as time passes and people ask the predictable, what happened? Think about choosing your words wisely. A challenge or a problem? Fear or alarm? Disaster or adversity? What's your favorite word swap? A number of studies have found that more frequent uses of negative emotion words is linked to emotional disorders such as anxiety and depression. Although causality can't be determined, stay on the upside and word swap with intent next time you have to repeat your adversity story. Number 2, talking to others. In order for you to bounce back from a challenging situation, you may need to seek help from those around you. This is prime time to ask for help. But guess what? Many of us are terrible at it. In my LinkedIn Learning course on building resilience, I discuss asking as a drill for raising your threshold of resilience. The simple act of asking is uncomfortable for many of us because we fear rejection and hearing the word no. But the more you do it, the better you get, so when adversity strikes, you'll have less hesitation to ask. During a challenging time, you can ask for resources from others, people's time and attention, special accommodations and favors. Here's a clip from my course with a few suggestions to use in your everyday life. Number 3, talking to yourself. Besides teaching business courses at a large university, for the past 25 years, I've been an indoor cycling instructor. I've used every motivational phrase in the book, from the cliche, "you got this," to the more clever, "empty the tanks." I've worked to curate the best of the best to push my riders a step beyond what they might achieve on their own. But when I need them to dig even deeper, do these motivational phrases still work? When used correctly, research says yes. See, one trick is to use them in the third person by asking writers to speak to themselves. A research review from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology examined the effectiveness of distanced self-talk. For example, "you can do this," or "Tatiana, you can do this," versus first-person talk, such as "I can do this." Findings showed that small shifts in the language people use to refer to themselves have a positive influence in their ability to manage thoughts, feelings, and emotions under stress. The language of resilience is optimistic, assertive, and definitely one you can use to coach yourself in the midst of a stressful event. Pay attention to how you speak out loud and what you repeat in your head. Write down word swaps and work on verbalizing the less negative options. Stay on this resilience communication regimen until the storm passes. You are the only one who can make it happen. Now, if you find this information helpful and you want to hear more about resilience, I'm planning another LinkedIn Live recording on Thursday, August 26th. It's going to be at noon Pacific Standard Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be with my friend, colleague, and coach, Tom Morris. You got to check him out at Tom Morris Performance. You can click in the newsletter to sign up for the LinkedIn event, and the broadcast will be posted a week prior to the event. So I invite you to share this newsletter with anyone who might benefit from reading it or listening to the LinkedIn Live event on August 26th. Thank you so much.